Hi friends, how are you today? So I am really excited to share with you some more detailed information from the guest on this week's episode of the Brave Files. She talks about the 7 sacred types of rest. It's really a fascinating conversation after having gone through her own complete burnout, breakdown. She's a medical professional, a doctor. She's really working to change the way the medical community treats the whole person, and it's fascinating. So she has 7 different types of sacred rest. So starting today for the next 7 days, I'm going to tell you about one of the types of sacred rest and give you some examples and how you can use it in your own life. So the first 3 are pretty easy. They're the 3 you would have thought of on your own. The first one here is physical rest. So I am working off a note, so if you see me looking over, that's why. Obviously, rest is about getting enough sleep, right? Physically recharging your body. So it might look like getting enough sleep. It might look like going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time, treating your body with some consistency, not hitting snooze. How many of you hit snooze? I'm not usually a snoozer, which is good. I try to be really realistic about what time I need and want to get up and set my alarm for that time. Or if I don't have to set my alarm, that's pretty awesome. So being really consistent in those ways. Often we just push ourselves too far physically and we're trying to meet deadlines, but we end up doing more harm than good. Without enough rest, everything kind of snowballs. You end up exhausted, and by the end of the week, you have increased stress and anxiety. In order to get enough physical rest, you're going to want to set really concrete boundaries. And you all know boundaries are my jam. So what we just talked about, having a consistent bedtime, waking up at a consistent time, not pressing snooze, those are boundaries. Maybe you have some other ones like reading before bed. That's a healthy, positive boundary. Not being on your phone before bed or watching TV right before bed. Maybe for some folks it's journaling. Again, healthy options to train yourself to fall into physical rest. Grab a copy of the gratitude journal, shift your focus, and fill that out each night before you go to bed. Think about how much time you actually need to feel energized. So I think they recommend 7 hours. I know that I personally need at least 8. Sometimes I need 9. And I'm consistent. If I don't get 8 hours of sleep, I'm gonna have a rough day, and I know that in advance. So make sure you understand how much rest your body needs to function as best as possible. When my oldest daughter wasn't sleeping well and we had to change some things, the first week that she got consistent sleep, a couple days in, she came to me and she goes, "Mommy, I feel so good. I don't know what happened. Why do I feel so good?" And I'm like, "Well, babe, you finally got some sleep. That'll do it for you." Also, make sure that you find time in your day to recharge your body. So lately, I have been, if I notice I'm crashing hardcore, instead of grabbing that next cup of coffee, and we all know I love my coffee. In fact, Sandra and I talk about loving coffee in this episode. I have been taking power naps, 10-minute naps. So I have all of a sudden developed this ability to sleep for 10 minutes. I lay down, I set an alarm, and I feel so much better and so much more rested. But whether it's taking a rest for your eyes, however you can fit time in your day to recharge and physically rest is what you should be looking at. So think about what works in your schedule and what feels good for you. I'd love to know how you are participating in physical rest for yourself. How are you taking care of yourself in this way? Send a comment below and let me know your thoughts. I look forward to connecting with you, and tomorrow I will have the second type of sacred rest for you. If you haven't listened to this episode of The Brave Files, be sure to head over to thebravefilespodcast.com. This is episode 76. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, just make sure you search for The Brave Files, subscribe so you don't miss anything, and scroll down and look for this episode, which right now I can't remember the title of. That's terrible, but it's the most recent one. You can also listen on Spotify or anywhere you enjoy podcasts. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.